Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer Online action. As you can see, I'm going to be playing the Vampire Counts. We are facing up against a Beastmen opponent, so definitely going to be in for a fun time. Decided to change up the build and try a few new things here. So we've got a center line of Skeleton Warriors backed up by 2 Crypt Horrors. We've also got 2 Crypt Ghouls who, they have decent weapon strength at 38. They also have poison attacks, pretty decent units all around. We also have 2 zombies in the front to break the charge, 2 skeleton spearmen in the back for some anti-large. We've also got the Claw of Nagash for the regeneration, terror, the drain effect, as well as the chilling aura. Lots of good stuff going on there. We've also got, let's see here, Mannfred von Karstein is the leader of this army. He's carrying Master of the Black Arts, Red Fury, Undeath Resurgent. He's also got Raised Dead, Invocation of Nehek, Fate of Buna, Spirit Leech, and Aspect of Dread Knight. So definitely going to be in for a good time. We've also got the Reavers, as well as the Dire Pack over on this flank. And on the opposite flank, hidden up here in the forest, we've got a unit of Blood Knights. So definitely going to be in for a wild battle. This build, the idea with the Crypt Ghouls is they can, their higher weapon strength helps them against low armor targets. The poison as well makes them trade somewhat cost effectively with Gores. I would need to do some testing to see one-on-one exactly how that would play out. But, against the Beastmen, it definitely could be a good pick. The Blood Knights, of course, very strong with, that immense shock damage, the charge bonus, and anti-large weapon strength. Reavers as well, a very strong unit. They do have a pretty decent charge bonus at 58. They've also got 110 armor and regeneration, so they're very tanky as well. And very good stuff. The Dire Pack, of course, have an anti-large bonus as well with 22 base weapon strength and a pretty decent stats overall for a Warhound unit. For my opponent's army, he's got pushing up over here the Sons of Goros, Centaurs with great weapons. They're going to be accompanied by this unit of Chaos Poison Warhounds. Main line is Goreherd with shields for that extra melee defense. He's also got the Koroks Man Rippers here in the back, protecting Morgur the Shadow Gave, very strong pick. He's also got a Brave Shaman Lore of Wild on the Woo Pig Chariot, which is a very, very good pick. It's got Mantle of Gahork for some nice melee attack bonus, and the Devolve, of course, for the -8 leadership and magic damage, very good against the vampires. He's also got the Butchers of Kalkengard for a nice elite, kind of killing unit with good staying power with regeneration. He's also got this Destroyers of Drakewald, which is an interesting pick. It's the, let's see, these are Ungor Spearmen who have shields. They also have poison attacks and Frenzy, so that's going to be good for them. And let's see, I believe that's pretty much it. No Gorebull, just the 1 unit of Minotaurs. And of course he does have a Giant. Very good pick against the vampires. So let's go ahead and kick this into full gear. And yep, we're just going to be pushing forward. I'm going to be kind of pulling these guys back into a bit of a defensive position, seeing that he's kind of aggressively pushing over on this flank. We're going to bring Mannfred over and have him help support this fight, popping Master of the Black Arts there to help increase my magic to full. So just pulling back slightly, and this is a bit of a mistake here by my opponent, in my opinion, bringing this engagement together, because the Reavers are going to get a counter charge in here, and they will get interrupted somewhat by the Hounds, but it's not going to be anything decisive. Plus, the Dire Pack are going to come in and also swing this in my favor. You can also see Fate of Buna about to go off on the Sons of Goros here, so let's go ahead and see how it plays out. Very beautiful fight as these guys start to come together. There you can hear the Fate of Buna going off, and that's going to definitely decisively swing this fight in my favor. You can see the Hounds pretty much already routed off by the Dire Pack. The Reavers, despite having taken some pretty substantial damage, they only lost 1 unit model, so the regeneration is going to allow them to heal a lot of that back and not have taken too much damage in the long run. You can see my opponent now pushing forward. Very, very good that I was able to decisively win that Cav battle on that engagement. The Sons of Goros are a very good unit, so good so far. We're going to be interrupting the charge here with these zombies. This is exactly what they were designed for. That being said, the Butchers of Kalkengard are going to push right through and get in on these Crypt Ghouls here. Here they'll be able to do quite a bit of damage, and they're fairly light units, so you can see they've already taken quite a bit of shock damage there. We're going to be countercharging now with the Skeleton Spearmen across the line, just getting in these Crypt Horrors, targeting him on the Giant so we can kind of tar pit him. And just across the line, we collapse these Verex Reavers over here, they did quite a bit of shock damage, pretty much broke this unit of Gors immediately, and we're going to be pulling them away, not wanting them to leave them in combat against those Koroks Man-Rippers. Finally activating the Blood Knights over here. Bit of miss micro, probably should have brought them in a bit sooner, but that's okay. The Butchers of Kalkengard, you can see, are trying to collapse in on these Skeleton Warriors over here, so we're going to be pushing the Spearmen in after them, and these Cryptors doing quite a bit of damage to the Gorhords with shields over here. The Giant not taking too much damage so far, and the Sons of Goros, the Koroks Man-Rippers doing quite a bit of damage as well. We were able to interrupt these Regiment of Renown Ungor with the zombies, so that's very good for me. Let's see. Just charging around with this chariot, continuing to deal damage to infantry. That's very good. We're going to be dropping an upgraded Invocation of Nehek just to heal up a lot of these troops here in the center. You know, try and keep them in the fight, especially these Cryptors and these Skeleton Spears who are fighting up against the Giant. You know, very important that we take that guy out as quick as possible. These Blood Knights came in for a rear charge on these Gore Herds, and we're bringing up this other mobile force up around the top of this hill to get in another nice rear charge. You can see now the Blood Knights collapsing over on this flank, going to be getting a really nice charge in the back of these Gores who are kind of bogged down on these zombies. You can see them getting in here, and with their very high charge bonus, they will absolutely wreck this low armor infantry. You can see Mannfred also dropping in here, going to be getting the Sword of Unholy Power going, and across the line you can see these Verex Reavers charging in, going to be doing quite a bit of shock damage to this lightly armored unit here on this flank. It wasn't anything overly, you know, decisive, but definitely some good damage there. Unfortunately, I'm going to get poisoned in that fight a little bit, so not great, but we did bring him in the Dire Pack to help go after these Destroyers of Drakwold. My opponent doing a very good job summoning up some Chaos Spawn here from Morkurs, so definitely going to be a tough time, but summoning them right where the Blood Knights are isn't going to be great, just because they will take quite a bit of damage from the Blood Knights there. Pushing through, trying to get the Blood Knights pathed in on the Giant, but there's just a lot of troop density here right now. You know, between the Chariot and the Chaos Spawn and everything. Very, very nice devolve there. Going to finish off probably these Crypt Horrors and the Crypt Ghouls and the Skeletons. Doing some great damage there. Pulling away with these Verex Reavers. Going to be pushing around. Mannfred's going to come in and interrupt these Ungor Spearmen, and that's going to allow these Verex Reavers to come in and get a beautiful rear charge right onto these Koroks Man-Rippers. So very, very good stuff. Beautiful, beautiful charge right into the rear there. You can see doing quite a bit of shock damage. Nothing crazy, but the Apocalyptic Vision going in, trying to hold these guys in the fight from Morkurs. And you can see the Giants racked up quite a few kills, but, continuing to be whittled down. Now that the Blood Knights are getting in here and actually able to get some attack animations, we're getting some decent burst damage. Mannfred's over here. He's trying to regenerate his Winds of Magic just by chopping away at these low-tier troops. Actually, I keep saying this Sword of Unholy Power, but I actually don't think I brought it on him, so that's a bit of a mistake there. I'm going to cast an Aspect of Dread Knight on himself, which is very nice. Terrifies away this unit. This unit's also going to break, and now that we've brought in the Claw of Nagash, it's close enough to terrify away these Koroks Man-Rippers, because the Frenzy mechanic that the Beastmen have did drop off, so they're going to get routed off as well. It's going to free up these Verex Reavers to get in here as well, get some nice charge damage in on that Giant, help out their Blood Knights. These guys are also going to be coming in for another cycle charge, so at this point it's looking pretty rough for the Beastmen. They've been able to do quite a bit of damage, but just these Verex Reavers and these Blood Knights still are very healthy, and we've also got this one unit of Crypt Horrors in here, and of course the Claw of Nagash is going to be draining away what's left of these infantry that have now rallied. These two Regiment of Renown infantry, which are probably pretty decent pick against the Beastmen. I'm not a huge fan of these low-tier spearmen, just because they're 600 for a low-tier spearman, which is a lot, and for that you can bring 2 of the regular Ungor spearman herd. So, yeah, it's a bit of a tough pick, but you can see Mannfred coming in now for the rear charge, and going to be getting in some good damage. These 2 units of infantry, I'm surprised they haven't terror-routed off from the Claw of Nagash, but still holding on somehow. Morkurs is going to try and get over here, but getting run over a bit. He's still holding somehow, but he's somewhere buried in there. He's not too happy about life right now, so you can see him standing up there, getting in some attack animations. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a duel between Mannfred and Morkurs. So this zombie who's missing an arm here is also going to try and help out. But very fun stuff. See the beautiful, beautiful carnage. This game is absolutely gorgeous. We got dead giants and crypt horrors and knights and all sorts of fun stuff. Claw of Nagash, you can see just getting cleaned up, and the last of the infantry getting cleaned up by the shock cavalry, bringing them back around now. We're going to lance down this last Minotaur, and Morkurs' morale is not going to be able to hold up to all this. So there goes the last Minotaur there, going down to the Blood Knights, and now Morkurs is very, very sad, still regenerating, but this Bray Shaman Lore of Wild has also come back in Another unit of Chaos Spawn summons is really probably the only thing holding the Beastmen in the fight at this point, but we're going to get the Blood Knights on them, and they're going to be able to lance down these guys in short order. So very fun stuff. And we'll just kind of take in some of the cinematics here as the battle wraps up. Mannfred's getting beat up a little bit by the armor piercing of the chariot, so he's going to pull away, and the Blood Knights are going to help screen. And yeah, at this point, the Beastmen are not too happy. Their morale is pretty much broken, and on army losses, they are going to rout. So very well played to my opponent. Very, very fun game. I don't play the vampires too often, but you know, they're definitely still one of the stronger factions in the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown here. So for my end of things, of course, the heavy shot cavalry coming in absolutely clutch. 162 kills on those Blood Knights and 181 on those Varix Reavers. 2 chevrons here, and of course these guys are Regiment of Renown, so it doesn't really apply, but rest assured they probably would have got 1 or 2 chevrons if they were able to. The Giant getting 146 kills from my opponent and 1 chevron. Very, very good. 181 kills as well on the Koroks Man Rippers. Granted, a lot of these are probably against like skeletons and zombies and so on, but still, these guys were able to do an impressive amount of damage. Same with the Butchers of Kalkengard. You know, I actually really, really like them against the vampires, just because that regeneration makes them a little bit extra, you know, gives them a bit of extra survivability, I guess, and you know, definitely helps them be more cost-effective than other units of Minotaurs. The rest of my opponent's forces, though, losing those Sons of Goros and the Hounds early on was really, really tough. You know, well played to those Varix Reavers and that timely fate of Yuna, and we also got a zombie summon over there to kind of finish things off, but yeah, very, very tough for my opponent. The Goreherds as well suffered a little bit to the Shot Cavalry. That's where a lot of these kills came from, is just from rear charging those Goreherds and everything, so that was tough. My infantry didn't really do a whole lot. The Crypt Ghouls, you know, I wasn't too impressed with them, to be honest. I don't know that I would bring them over the Skeleton Warriors, but, you know, just more of a fun pick. Claw of Nagash was pretty clutch as well, of course, doing the healing and the terrifying and, you know, draining and so on. Crypt Horrors are still a very strong unit, and even for their cost, you know, probably still cost-effective. So, very well played to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. I'm having a ton of fun filming these, so I hope you guys are enjoying watching them. I'm going to keep it coming every day. Sorry about it being a little bit late today, but you know, we'll try and get some pre-recorded for this coming week. And yeah, keep it right here for more Total War Warhammer, and we'll see you all next time.